There's a fish on it. Oh, there's a fish. There we go. Better fish, good fish. Got a better fish this time. Bigger than the last one. Alright, so this has been one of my main go-to rods for a while now. Mostly because a lot of the time I'm on a motorcycle and it's kind of a pain to put full-size 1 or 2 piece rods, especially a 1 piece rod on the motorcycle. So it's so much easier to just get a cheap telescopic like this, shove it into my backpack, and then I'm good to go. But this one, unfortunately, I've had it for a while now. I think this was one that I got for a Temu review a while back, like almost like 3 years ago, I want to say. Like, it's been a while. But as you can see, the eyelets are popping off now, which isn't a problem. You could easily fix that. But they're starting to get some cracks in the blank on here, and yeah, it's time to retire it. It's time to retire this reel. This is just an old Dock Demon reel that I found lying around, and it just happened to be the perfect size to go on this. It's kind of a Frankenstein reel because that's not the handle that goes with it, but it's starting to have some issues. You can see it's got it's having a little bit of anti-reverse issues, which isn't that big of a deal. But when I open the bail to cast it, on every cast, the bail just closes itself and it ends up cutting me short or flinging the lure back at me. So I've been having to do this where I open it up to cast it and then I have to push it down farther. Like that, like it's going farther than it's supposed to, and that's the only way I've been able to cast it lately. So it's time to retire the reel, which I have other reels and that's fine, but I don't have any other telescopic rods. So instead of going out and buying another telescopic rod, I've thought about making my own. As you can see here, I've got about 20 broken rods that I've broken over the years. Plus, I have another broken telescopic rod here, which was actually part of that same Temu video with the green one there. This one I used for a long time, and it worked really well. It was a really good rod up until I got snagged on something during a tournament, and in the process of popping it free, when the lure did pop free, I smacked a tree behind me and it just broke the tip off. So this one here, I might see if I can just replace the whole end piece and it'll probably be good to go. If not, maybe I can cannibalize the parts on it. I might cannibalize a few parts on this, especially that tip. Actually, if I get that whole end piece out of there, I might see if it'll work on the other one. Usually when I break a rod, I always take the end pieces off, the last eyelet. Like, I'll heat it up, pull it off, and I'll use it because I end up losing a lot of those. So a lot of these don't even have them. I've only got 3 of the end pieces. So I think what I'm going to do is all the end pieces I have, I'm going to try to make that many telescopic rods. Just make a handful of them, kind of experiment, because I don't actually know what I'm doing. I'm just going to kind of go along with I'm going to kind of deconstruct these and see how they're made and see if I can just use those or just come up with my own idea to make one. And all the end pieces I have, all the end eyelets, that's how many rods I'm going to make. And then I'm going to choose probably the best overall one. Hopefully it'll fit in the backpack, and that'll become my new number 1. So let's get into that. Alright, so as you saw there, I used a lighter, took apart the green rod some. What I'm going to do is reverse engineer it. This looks like they just took a regular rod blank, cut it into sections like it used to be, regular end to end like that, with maybe some, it was probably about that far out, and then they trimmed it up, and then just fed the end piece through the base like that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut up an old broken rod and feed it together like that. So I get this many packages delivered to my house just about every day. All of this was completely free on Whatnot. If you've never used Whatnot before, it can be a little jarring. If you know, it could be a little overstimulating sometimes. It kind of reminds me of the old home shopping network. Here, this package here is a pack of NBA cards for free. That's probably what most of these are because I do a lot of sports memorabilia stuff. So these were all free packs of cards, stuff that I can collect, stuff that I can even turn around and sell. Look at this. There's even they got everything on Whatnot. Here's a completely free tablet that I won, brand new in the box. And hopefully the box can protect that. There we go. 7-inch quad-core tablet. This was free. All of this stuff was free. It kind of reminds me of the old home shopping network where you get a guy on the screen kind of hyping up the items, talking about and like just really excited about it. And then there's a timer in the corner going down. You only have that much time to call in and try to order it. It's kind of like that, but it's a mobile app. There's a lot of auctions on there. Like I said, this is what I get delivered on a daily basis, and all of this was free. Sometimes I buy stuff. Sometimes I even sell stuff. You might catch me on there streaming every once in a while on Tuesdays. If you've never tried it, you probably should. Check out the link in the description. If you sign up using my link, you'll get $15 in credit to use on auctions. It won't cover shipping or taxes, but that's not a big deal because, I mean, look, this was 74 cents to ship, that kind of stuff. Yeah, check it out. If you click on the link, they might give me a commission on you signing up. But that's only if you actually purchase anything. If you don't, then, you know, I don't get anything. This isn't sponsored by them or anything like that. Since I started using it, it's been kind of addicting. And I'm just trying to spread the information. So with all that being said, let's get into today's video. Alright, so I've got two rods here. This one here, I just replaced the end piece, but it got glued and fixed in place there. I could take it apart and fix that, but it's not that big of a deal. Although with it sticking out like that, it does fail the backpack test, which is one of the main things I wanted to do. But I can stick that in the saddlebag on the motorcycle with this piece sticking out, and it's not a big deal. This one is even more of a failure for the backpack test because it's even longer. It's about four inches longer, but it actually looks kind of nice. I measured this part out down to your elbow. I did that instead of paying attention to the total length of the rod. I think if I could do it again, or I might be able to break it off and try to do it again, I would move this further down to give myself more length on the rod. I paired this with a Runkle reel that they sent me a while back, Runkle Merced, which seems pretty nice. Doesn't really match in the color, but if I like it better, I might swap the reel. This one here, I put the reel that I used to have on it. This one, it seized up for a while, so I quit using this reel, but it fixed itself. Like I checked it out and it just randomly started working. So do that. This is just more of a traditional, well, it definitely is more a traditional telescopic rod because all I did was replace the end piece. So I think I know this one's gonna work because I didn't really do much to it. It's not very original. The other one here, I had a longer rod. This was actually a 10-foot rod, which I was planning on doing like 4 or 5 custom rods here, but when I did this one, I realized that's not really going to work out because the other rods I was going to be working with are 7-foot rods. This one was a 10-foot rod, and I cut it down and made it telescopic. I cut off the end piece and fed it through the piece that was on the bottom there, and so on and so on, and it ended up being a 5-foot or possibly around a 5-foot rod. So I lost like half the length of the rod in making it telescopic. So doing that with the 7-foot rods, was not going to be very feasible. So let's go ahead and find out the actual length, because this one was originally a 10-foot rod, and it is 5'2". It's a 5'2" rod now, and it collapses down to about 2.5 to 3 feet. This one, that's at 5'8". I don't know about 5'8". That doesn't sound right, but I don't think that's 5 inch. Yeah, 5'8". So this one's 5'8". It's a little bit longer. It's not as compromised because I didn't do much work to it. This one's 5'2", and it's, I wouldn't say compromised, but I did a lot more modifications to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and tie on some little 2-inch swim baits onto each one, and we'll go and test that out, because I know that'll draw bites from just about everything in this creek. They're not as long as I would like, but they're basically both ultralights, or one's a light, one's an ultralight, but they are nice and compact. Even though they don't collapse as far down as I would like, they're pretty compact, which I can still carry with me on the motorcycle. The water is surprisingly clear, and there's a decent amount of fish out there. A lot of stuff on the surface though, but let's do the longer one first. Ooh, I'm snagged. Got it back. Okay. Bow and arrow technique worked pretty well on it. Well, the initial reaction on this one is it's basically exactly what it was before. So my repair job on it, while it could be better, it's pretty solid. Like I wasn't able to get it to telescope like it's supposed to, but it is basically back to 100%, maybe even a little bit longer than it originally was. But it's 100%. It's a solid rod. Very easily could be back in my rotation now with that tip on there. Now we're gonna try the shorter one. As you can see, the tip on this one is a lot more sensitive, a lot faster action. Also, this one only has 3 eyelets on it. We've got the American tackle. I should really look up what those are called. I forgot what they're called, but it's, being that I put it so far away from it and there's only 3, this design of this eyelet helps the line not get wind knots in it. It helps it cast farther. So I think this worked out. First cast with it. Perfect. I definitely need to move the reel seat down though, because I put it too far forward. The reel is too far forward, which makes it hard to get leverage on a good cast. Thought I measured it out right, but I clearly did not. But it does cast just as far, maybe a little bit easier, but there's still, the other one is clearly better, because this one, it just is not a comfortable length where the reel seat is. I need the reel seat to be down about 3 inches at least, or just pull that off. That makes it a little bit better. Pull the knob off the end. That makes it a little better. We'll see. A little bit. It doesn't need to come down as far. Unless I put that knob back on there, then I got to bring it down a little farther. So this one casts better. The other one is just more comfortable and got a better leverage angle on it. Better leverage, better reel seat position. So this one I feel is just better overall, but I didn't do that much to it. The other one just needs a couple minor adjustments and I think it'll be solid. This one actually has the opposite problem with the reel seat than the other one does. This part here is too short. So the reel, even though this is already solid, like I can't make an adjustment there. The other one I can adjust the placement of the reel seat. This one, the reel should actually be about 3 inches further up. And the other one should be about 3 inches further down. There are at least 2 halfway decent sized bass hanging out around here, but they're super skittish, where every time something hits the water, no matter how close it is to them, they just disappear. Oh, got a sunfish. No, a little bass slipped off. So there we go. I wasn't expecting that. This is not one of the bass I was seeing. The bass I was seeing were at least twice as long. This is a little 6-inch bass, but the rod landed it. I didn't know he was on there, so the hook set was a little awkward, but I was able to land him. I was about to turn and walk away, and I just noticed this. That's brand new. Rebel crick hopper. Might not have ever been used before. There's no line knot or anything on it. There's also a bullet weight and some other hooks there. Easter tail. This one's used. It's got a line hanging from it, but I'll take it. Pretty good cast. That was pretty good, pretty accurate, pretty far. So it's just not as comfortable to cast because of where I put the reel seat. Oh, there we go. Oh, he slipped off. Can't blame that on the rod, that's the hooks, but that was about the same size as the last one. There's a fish on it. There we go. Gotta fish this like it's an ultralight. Kind of can't really set the hook on them. Gotta let them hook themselves. And of course I'm using some pretty bad hooks that don't want to stay on. But there you go. A little bit bigger than the last one, the first one. Not much. Still looking for the first fish on this one. We got 2 on the other one. This is just a more overall comfortable rod to use. It's longer, which is always better here. Oh, there's a fish. There we go. Better fish, good fish. Handled that pretty well. I might have to get my pliers out for this one, but as you can see, that's about twice the size of the fish that were caught on the other rod. It's just the overall, it's a better rod. Didn't feel him bite it though, so sensitivity might be an issue. So he did choke it a little bit. Alright, so this one's about 12 inches. The others were about 6. Alright, now we've got the flick stick tied on. Just cast it over there and see. Cast farther. It really does. The only issue with it so far is, I mean, besides there's no backbone to it, the reel seat just needs to be moved down. Got a better fish this time. Bigger than the last one. That's actually a solid bass right there, but he choked it. That's pretty nice. That's a 2-pounder. Probably. Well, just under 2 pounds. Come on. solid fish. Pulled some drag with the reel. The rod worked, landed it. Took a minute to swim off there, but he swam off. Not bad. That was... I probably should have weighed him and measured him, but he was a little bit gut hooked. He wasn't bleeding or anything, but I didn't want to waste any more time. I wanted to get him back into the water. So, there we go. My rods, both of them handled decent sized fish. This one casts much better, a lot farther, a lot smoother. The other one might be a little bit more accurate on shorter distances. This one's not bad for accuracy either. I can cast this one pretty accurately too. So this one's better at casting for sure. The other one's just better at handling fish, better at handling snags, better at better sensitivity. Like I can feel the fish better. This one's got no sensitivity. It's just too fast, too wobbly, no backbone. So it took me way too long to even realize that last biggest one was even on there. The only reason I noticed I had one is because it was moving to the side. But with that being said, I kind of like them both. This one I just need to make some more minor adjustments to it, move this down a couple inches. The other one doesn't need any adjustments. It's ready to go as it is. So for right now, the other one might have worked its way back into the starting lineup, into my rod rotation. Guess I'm gonna call it there. I got somewhere I need to be. So thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. And I just cast that over a bunch of trash. I don't think okay, I got it back.